Hello! You're in for a treat.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays.
2 West.
6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
We got new hours because we're nerdish.
And we're in our 20s despite our looks, so we gotta do things in the evening time over the summer.
Correct, but not too late because, as Levi said, we're in our mid-20s.
Not our early 20s.
And not our late 20s, the mid-20s.
Yes, we're the Goldilocks of 20s.
That's right, I shouldn't have laughed. I gotta keep it cool, because this is our intro rap, where we keep things cool.
We're very cool, so cool we might want a dance break.
Hey, thanks for watching our dance break.
Now, back to the really serious stuff.
Like Brady
And Levi.
and Brady too. We're the 3 members of the Nerdish crew.
That was perfect. We didn't plan that.
Not at all. We don't plan anything. If you couldn't tell by this rap. That was the one thing we rhymed,
That was the one thing.
which makes it a rap.
Yes, all raps have one rhyme.
We'll see you on 2 West.
Yes. 2 West
6, 7:30 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Keep watching, because it'll turn into us, but probably not wearing the wigs.
Yes, and we'll be much more responsive to whatever you have to say.
You could ask us questions right now. We will not answer them.
Also, we take no responsibility for anything we've done in this pre-recorded session.
Yes. Any lost items, Nerdish is not responsible.
Right, we don't have anything to do with it. We're very different people in the present than we are from when we're recording this video. You might say we are the pupae of Nerdish right now, and in the future we will be the moths.
The
Because moths are the
disgusting
most-
gray moths.
Yes, those gray moths that you hear, they're
Yeah.
like the bats of the flying community.
The wings are leathery. They're leathery wings.
Very leathery.
They're basically butterflies, but we hate them.
Yes.
They're the rodents of butterflies.
This is true.
Right?
Just like the ACT is the rodent of the SAT.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all.
Maybe 140.
Hey, there they are. There's that gang
Imperium.
of goons. Oh, is that? Are there already
Yo.
8 viewers, or is that 0? Oh, that's 0.
Yes.
Okay.
So 8 and 0 are very similar.
Right, it's that line
8
in the
is
middle.
0 times 0.
Oh,
Actually, it's 0 divided by 0, which is 8.
right. But then you take that. Oh, Imperium's here.
We just...
Imperium, we just saw you yesterday, and so we're glad that you're here today. Don't you get that? 8 is 0 with a belt. Yes.
Very tight
Very
belt.
true. A very tight belt. Just... Yeah, just pulling that waist. It's one of those waist shapers that women wear.
Yes, all women.
Waist trainers. That's what they're called.
Imperium, do you have any questions? Kuz, what's up?
Not koozie. Hey, we got all the boys in the gang, or girls. We're really not sure because it's just
We have
names.
no idea, and neither do you.
Those are names. Those are just text on the screen.
Okay, do you guys have questions?
Yeah, you guys have a question?
Do you have one question that you can agree on, please, for once?
For once. I'm starting college in a month. I'm good. Do we know that? Do we know that Imperium started college in a month?
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Where's Imperium going?
College.
Oh,
Do you know when?
in a month.
Yes.
I'm in the car right now, so no questions. Not koozie. Hope you're not driving. Tell us you're not driving.
Tell us that.
Tell us that. Even if you are, please just tell us you're not driving. Imperium, where are you going to school? We're excited for you.
College.
I mean, it is.
No, it's just on me. Can you get it?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just itching. All right.
NCC,
Yeah.
North Carolina, Chapel, Northern Colombian. Gee, come on, Levi. Oh my God. Come on, Levi.
Put your
Why
phone
would
away
you
first.
set an alarm on my phone
I should not have
to
done
make
that.
sure that I woke up in time for the stream and then pressed snooze?
Keep watching Nerdish, and you will get a Tesla. Do you know how many Tesla bucks buy a Nerdish dollar?
Oh, it's got to be at least a baker's dozen at this point.
Yeah.
NCC, Imperium, I'm not sure I know what that acronym stands for.
Stands for North Central College.
Does it?
I don't know.
I mean, it might. I'm sure there's a
Yeah.
college called that.
Like USC is University of Southern California, but also University of South Carolina. It's the same school.
Really?
Yeah, it's located geographically in between them.
Oh, at the midpoint.
Yes, at Missouri.
They
Which
take
stands for midpoint in
in
English.
autism.
Yeah.
Nassau Community College.
Nassau
Oh, in
County.
Long Island, right?
Yes.
Is it Nassau and Long Island?
Yes.
I believe so. Very nice. Do you know what you're going to study yet, or are you just going to start picking and choosing and just kind of feeling it out with your tentacles? What's the plan here? You don't have to have a plan. I didn't have a plan till a couple years into college, and even then. Computer science. Oh.
Yeah,
So
I
this-
had a plan, and then it misbehaved, so I had to execute it.
Wait.
Thanks, bud.
Wait, hold on. You had a plan.
Yeah.
You have to explain this one to me.
No, whatever's in the middle, but I executed the plan.
Oh, and you executed the plan.
Yeah.
You misbehaved. But it misbehaved.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said, but I misbehaved.
No.
I thought, oh, so they punished you because you misbehaved, and then you had to execute. It makes a lot more sense now.
Yes.
That's very cool, Imperium. You're going to be using a lot of math. And you know what they say about math? Math? Nerdish. That's what they say about math. Any questions for the stream, Mr. Levi?
No.
Hey, you know what we haven't gone over in a while?
What?
Imaginary numbers.
Yeah, that's true.
We haven't gone over imaginary numbers in a while. I feel like we should do that. You know what else we haven't gone over in a while?
What?
Imaginary numbers.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel like we should do that. Oh. Can you go over parabola questions? Not koozie. There we go. Yeah, what about a parabola? How you set them up, what kind of questions they are, everything about a parabola that you might need to know. You just wanted a smorgasbord of parabola topics. Oh, you said equations. I said questions. Wow. Okay, equations. Yeah, okay, let's talk about this. So, parabolas are made by quadratics. Quadratic equations, which a lot of times look like this. This right here is standard form of a quadratic. Ax squared plus bx plus c. All right. With the x squared, it tells us it's a quadratic. If the leading term is an x cubed, it's cubic, not quadratic. It's got to be that 2 there that's your leading term. And that's it. I'm kidding. That's not it. That's just the beginning.
Could we
So-
do something from the SAT Discord, actually?
How do you perfectly write backwards on the board? How do you not, Imperium?
Yeah, Imperium.
Did somebody ask us
How
something?
did you get into college without knowing how to write perfectly backwards on the board?
Imperium, we're not writing backwards on the board. The camera flips the footage. Did somebody just ask that?
On the SAT, but I want to just put it on here.
Okay, because someone did ask about parabola equations just now.
Is it koozie?
No, it's not koozie.
Koozie in the car?
Koozie in the car.
Not koozie in the car.
Koozie.
Hey, Kooz, do you want to do this question? Does this interest you? Interest you.
It's more
Compounding
than
interest.
not koozie. You said.
Do you want to do this?
Isn't koozie in the car? Oh, this is a while back. Oh, I was just asking specifically.
Koozie said he missed all this.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is just the standard form of a quadratic. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. It's quadratic if our leading term has a squared in it, x squared. Okay. So I'm gonna make one up here. Yeah. X squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay. The a term tells you what direction the parabola opens up. Does it open upward or downward? If the a is positive, it opens upward. Yay! If the a is negative, it opens downward. Yay! Both are fine. It's just what happens with the a. The c value is your y-intercept. Because if your x value is 0, which means you're on the y-axis, then all the x things go away if there's 0, leaving you with y equals 6. So this number, just like in slope-intercept form, will also be the y-intercept of a quadratic. So far we know one thing. Actually, we know two things about this. It's got a y-intercept of 6, and it opens upward because its a value is 1. The 5, there's not a singular control that the 5 has, we actually have to factor it to start getting a sense of what this parabola looks like. So I'm going to get rid of these for a sec. Well,
Okay,
I mean,
so Kuzi's saying that he has really bad connection and he wants us to give him like 20 minutes.
oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you...
He put it in our Discord.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
I'm going to do this one though.
Fine.
Okay, this is from on the SAT Discord from Turtle. Turtle, hi.
CB Turtle?
No, not CV Turtle.
Oh.
Another, well, it could be CV Turtle, but I doubt it. Okay, so we have this xy plane, linear equation form y equals mx plus b. That's normal. And the graph of an exponential equation is the form y equals a times b to the x power. Sure, a and b and m, those are all constants. X and y are your variables. Both contain the points 1, 3 and 2, 4. If the point rs is on the graph of the linear equation and the point rt is on the graph of the exponential equation, where r is between 0 and 4 and s is greater than 2. Wow. Okay, so let's draw this. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on. Let's do. So we're going to be in the first quadrant, and we pass through the point 1, 3, 2, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to make this as big as possible. So here's the point 1, 3. And here's the point 2, 4. And we have a linear function and we have an exponential function. Okay? And they both pass through both these points. So I'm going to do the linear one in pink. That will be this. Okay, so that's that line. And then in blue, I'm going to do the exponential. It doesn't say that a and b or a is positive, but it doesn't. We know that it has to go like that. That's what exponential functions look like. If you do have a question about what exponentials look like in general, and you're not comfortable with that being our exponential one, then do let me know. So this is what they have to look like. Now this question is very confusing, but drawing stuff is no problem, Kuzi. Drawing stuff really helps in this case because we're not just solving things. So these two are on the graph, and the point RS is also on the graph of the linear equation, and RT is on the graph of the exponential equation, where R is between 0 and 4. Okay, so I'm going to label this point with the yellow marker. So we have at R, so between 0 and 4. So 0 is here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have these points RS and RT. So the R is the X value, and it has to be the same for both of them. And it's between 0 and 4. So it's going to be somewhere in there. That's where our R will be. We just don't know where it is on the graph in the exponential equation. Both equations. And then S is the Y value, T is the Y value for the linear and exponentials respectively. And S is greater than T. So RS is, okay, RT, so this is the exponential one. This is going to have the point RT. And the linear has the point RS. Dang it. There you go, RS. So knowing those 2 points, and we know that S is greater than T. So for S to be greater than T, that means that for this R value, right, our R value is our X value, the Y value of the linear function has to be greater than the Y value of the exponential function. These are the Y values, right? So this guy has to be greater than this guy. That's what they're telling us. This is way more helpful to do visually. So where is S, which is a Y value for the linear, greater than T? Well, it's got to be in this portion right here, right? Between 1 and 2, because that's where they cross at the 2 points that were given, and clearly the linear function, the Y values are all greater in this portion right here. I don't know, let's do it like that. Yeah, that's stupid, whatever. It's got to be between there. That's where R has to be, between those X values. So it's got to be between 1 and 2. Our answer is going to be B. B. Yes? Okay, so I'm going to send you this link so then you will have it. But I think this is a very cool question. I at first thought, okay, well, we have these two functions and we're going to solve for some constants in them. That's not actually what happens. We have to graph them so we can see visually that the linear function is greater on this interval for the x values. It's a very confusingly worded question. Not poorly worded, it's just confusing. So you have to take it one sentence at a time, break it down, draw stuff as necessary, figure out what these R, S, and T things mean. Okay, Bert, I'm going to link this to the SAT Discord. Can I have you get up there and do something exciting?
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. What do you want me to do? You could erase that. I'll come back in 30 seconds.
Oh, I got up too fast.
Did you?
Why do we keep doing that? I feel like that doesn't happen upstairs. Why does that happen here?
Because you're sitting for too long.
I'm sitting and I do that throughout the day. I sit down and I get up.
No.
I don't feel like the way I feel. I don't like the way I feel, Levi. What do I do?
Depress and dissociate, Bert.
But then I won't feel what I'm feeling. Oh, I guess that makes sense. In the XY plane, the graph of the linear. I'm just kidding. Thought I was about to do it, didn't you? Yeah, Levi's paying attention.
Yes.
What? Anybody catch the game the other day? 'Cause I didn't. I was wondering if you guys did. I heard the game is pretty terrific. It's a pretty terrific game. Levi, I'm dying up here, man.
Yeah?
Yep, you gotta send that thing and get back up here because I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Yo, bro, totally spoiled. Yeah, Imperium, absolutely. I mean, I heard that Williamson got like a career high in the game the other day in points, in just sheer points. And if you start talking about assists, apparently Hodgkins.
Yeah? Finish that. What's Hodgkin's last name, Bird?
No, that's Hodgkins' last name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because when you talk about athletes, they all have last names. Hodgkins got a lot of assists.
Kuzi, you saw it? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, those are the big headlines from the game. It's Williamson's points and Hodgkins' assists.
Okay, Bird, we gotta save you, huh?
Please do.
I'm gonna give you a math question. You're gonna have to do it.
I'm okay with that, honestly. I don't know why people think I'm not okay with that, because I am. Show me the question, Levi. I'm not afraid. I'll do your little question. And then I will marry the princess and kill the king. Shing.
In that order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Shing was the wrong place.
Yeah.
I'll marry the princess, Shing, and kill the king.
Yes. Or I'll marry Xing, the princess, and kill the king.
This is ancient China.
Yes.
Very good.
Princess Xing.
Princess Shing.
Okay, so Kuz, you have no questions. Imperium, you're going to college.
Well, Imperium, we wouldn't do it in a way that the princess would know that we killed her dad. Because otherwise she would not want to stay married to us. So you marry the princess, thus becoming the prince.
And arrange the king's death.
Yes.
Xing.
Shing.
Okay,
Damn.
let's do another question, which we could take from the SAT or ACT. Maybe I'll find one. Nothing, yeah?
Is there a way to see like who our viewers are currently?
No.
Okay. Kill the princess and marry the king. Ha! That would be a interesting turn of events. Wow. And what if the king knew it was you too?
Yeah.
So the king was like, "Yeah, I'll marry you, even though you killed the princess, my daughter." That'd be really screwed up. What kind of a king would that be?
No king.
No king at all. Shing. If he's no king, we must kill the king.
Yes?
But he's not a king, so we can't kill him.
Okay,
It's a
Brad, I got a
catch-22.
question for you.
It's a catch-22.
So, we have two perpendicular lines. Yeah? Say yes.
Yes.
Just say yes, Brad.
No.
So dumb. We have this point, and it is 4, 1. And then we have this point, and it is 1, 1x. No. 1a. Yeah? What do you say?
I grow weary of this. Finish your question, peasant.
I can't finish my question when you do that. And the slope, this is line L. And the slope of this line,
The slope.
the sloping, is negative 2/3. I would like to know what A is.
That's easy.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Perpendicular slope, this is positive
Wait,
3
Bert,
halves.
you're supposed to teach it.
Yeah, I know, I am. Perpendicular slope is you flip the fraction, you change the sign. You flip the fraction, you change the sign. You flip the fraction, you change the sign. I took negative 2/3, I flipped it, and I changed the sign, and I got 3 halves. So I know the slope of this line is 3 halves. Now let's put it into an equation. I'm going to use point slope form because it's easy. Point slope form because it's easy. As long as you have a full point, x and y, which we're going to call x1 and y1, you can put it in this form. We keep y the same, we subtract y1, which is 1 in this case. Set it equal to our slope times x minus our x value, which is 4. Great. We have an equation in point slope form. We can now use this equation to find a, for a is the y value when x is 1. So I just need to put an x value of 1 in, and then I can solve for y. Let's solve this thing.
My lord.
What? What do you want?
I don't know.
I'm going to bring it over here. Y minus 1 is equal to 3 halves times negative 3. Oh joy. Y is equal to, this is going to give us negative 9 halves plus 1, which gets us to negative 7 halves, or negative 3.5. Are you happy, Levi? In general, are you content with how things are going on like a big picture scale?
Yes, I am.
Good.
Well, very happy.
That's your question, fool. I've solved it. Against all odds, I've solved it. I have a question for you.
That's so funny.
What? What is funny?
Oh gosh. Okay, so I answered some questions in the SAT Discord. That was the one there, and then they asked me which one I was, and I was about to answer. They said the Asian one.
Do they think you're Asian?
I don't know if they think me or you. We're both very white.
Yes. It happens.
Ah.
It happens.
Whiteness?
Which one are you, the Asian one?
We do have another question though.
We were saying Shing a little bit too much.
Oh, that's possible. I'm the princess.
You're the princess? So I have to marry you and kill Chuck.
Oh, this is a dinky little question here. All right, we're gonna have to
Make it less dinky.
I will.
Reduce the dink factor. Reduce the dink factor. Are you doing it now?
I'm doing it. Oh, look at that follow. Thank you, Tindo.
Wait, Brady's not Asian?
Is that Kuz? Kuz is very funny.
Well, it's okay. It's not Kuzi.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Kuz said I'm allowed to call him Kuz though, or not Kuz said that. So I don't know what Kuz thinks, but
Yeah. The relationship between X and Y, it could...
it's complicated.
Yeah, but it could be written, if it's the right day, as y equals to mx, where m is a constant. If y is 17 when x is a, what is the value of y when x is 2a? Oh, this is great. This is so great. Honestly, Levi, the core of this is... Plug it in, when no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. If you don't plug it in, plug it in, plug it in. You're acting kinda shady in calling me Brady. Why don't you plug it in, plug it in, plug it in. When no one is... Hello, I am Knit. Hello, Knit. I am also Knit. This is my friend, Knit. We're all Knit. Very good. y is equal to mx. They tell us that y is 17 when x is a. Whenever you see something like that, you need to plug those things in and see what happens.
Levi, Brady.
I'm putting 17 in for y. I'm putting a in for x. 17 is equal to ma. And as we all know from Newton's second law, F is equal to ma. Therefore, F is equal to 17. Levi figured it out.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, Kuz, you're listening to Brady and Levi's rendition of Plug It In by Brady and Levi's Child.
That doesn't make sense for them.
It doesn't. It sounds weird, but it's because it's Destiny's Child. Say my name. Beyonce. And no, it does not equal F. I was kidding. It's a physics joke. Get it to your skulls. What is the value of y when x is equal to 2a? Oh, this is fantastic. All right. So let's go back. Y is equal to mx. Can we be any more specific now with m? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We have m over here. Let's solve this one for m. M happens to be equal to 17 over a. I'm going to take that and put it in over here to have a more specific relationship than just y equals mx. Yeesh. This is 17 over a times x. Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm taking what we learned from the first one and I'm putting it into the second one. 34, I guess. Tindo. Tindo says 34. Oh, geez. Tindo, this was a physics joke. Newton's second law is F equals ma, and because we have 17 equals ma, I set them equal to each other. I was just kidding about that. It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super misleading.
It's extremely misleading. Yes, there's no 17 here. I mean, sorry, there's no F. That's force equals mass times acceleration. It's a complete non sequitur. It doesn't sequit really well. So now what is the value of y when x is 2a? I'm going to put 2a in for x. Oh, you're right. It is 34, Tindo. I thought you... Oh, no. The A's cancel out. They cancel out with a little bit of beep, bop. And then you have y is equal to 17 times 2, which is, in fact, 34. Tindo, my apologies. You're on another level. I was thinking you just mistook my physics joke for actual math work, but you didn't. Excellent. Levi.
Yes.
Feed me questions.
Feed me questions.
I'm hungry for questions.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay, let me see if I can find you a question, Bird. You almost failed that question, though.
Why? With F equals ma?
Maybe. Okay, let's see. Ooh, we got some stuff in our Discord, but it's just people joining. Oh, Turtles is here. Hey, Turtles.
Todos?
Yes.
Is Todos here?
Yeah. Okay. You want to do imaginaries? Or no?
Do you want to do imaginaries?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I
well, then
don't.
you might want to. You just don't know.
Huh?
You might want to then if you don't know.
Huh? I didn't want to give you the satisfaction of that one.
Gosh, our interactions just become more and more dysfunctional by the day.
Yep. By the day.
Tindo! Is it like Nintendo? Like the game system?
Tindo, do you ooh, Kuz, you have imaginary. Okay.
Yee!
So Kuz wants imaginary. Tindo, do you have any more questions? Wait, no. You didn't even ask questions in the SAT
Well, no,
Discord. That was Turtles.
Tindo's question is 34, I guess.
Close.
I think the answer to that would be like close. Now we're just kidding. It's 34 if you couldn't tell. All right, Levi, imaginary numbers, you're up. Tell them about I. Sorry, tell them about me.
So
Funny, I know.
yeah, that was very good. So we know that I is the square root of -1. If you do not know that, then go on Khan Academy and learn about that definition. I'm not going to define it beyond that. That is it, though. That's the thing. There are a couple different things we need to know here. I think you're confusing Tindo. That probably makes sense. We confuse most people who give us the time of day. Okay, so there are a couple things we need to know. First, exponents with imaginaries. This is probably the most important thing with imaginaries. If we know that, we'll say I is equal to I, sure. What is I squared? Well, if I is the square root of -1, then
My lord, would not I squared be 3?
No, it wouldn't be 3, but that's a good thought for a dope. Okay, so I squared equals I times I, which equals -1. Very good, Imperium, yeah. Because we have the square root of -1 times the square root of -1, so the square roots cancel, and we just get -1. So yes, I squared is -1. Always. That is super important. Dude, this channel deserves more attention. Right?
Who said that?
Tindo.
Tindo.
Give us so much attention. Give us lots of attention.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Tell your kids. Just your kids. Don't tell your parents.
Hide your kids.
Okay, so I cubed. Also, so Tindo, ask us your questions. You can do it in our Discord. You can do it in the SAT Discord. I don't really care because we can just pull up the questions. If you do it in the SAT Discord, just at me or Brady. Oh, you did. Great. And more? We did the... Wait, no, that's Turtle. You did. Oh, yeah. There you go. This looks fun. Oh, this is way more fun.
I want to do it if it's fun.
No, you don't get to do this one.
No, you're
I
doing imaginary
earned
numbers.
this problem.
I let you do those.
No. Fine, you can do this one.
Yay.
But not yet. I just want to finish this. We'll do just the exponents, then we'll do this question. We can do it. Why don't we do it together? Bird. Okay. I cubed is -I. Yes, it is. We know that because I cubed is, we could prove this a bunch of different ways. This is the same thing as I squared times I to the first. We know I to the first is I, and we know I squared is -1. So it's -1 times I, which is -I. I to the fourth, this is the biggie. This will be 1. That's super important because then it starts going back. What's the question for? All right, I'm home now. To be Coos. Bozo. Okay,
What happened?
we will do the actual fun question now.
I want to
No,
do
you're
it.
too late, Bird. I
No.
already finished it.
No.
You already finished it. All right. Oh, we got a big figure above, dude. Wow. It's kind of fun.
I mean, if you're into that sort of thing.
I'm very into this.
Get rid of the answers. We don't need it. They take up space. Now you can make it bigger.
Okay, I'm probably gonna draw this thing anyway.
Oh. Ah. That's what I'm talking about because you just did that, and so I'm currently talking about it. What'd you do?
It's a little bit cut off.
Oh.
Huh?
There we go.
Okay. You can begin. I'm gonna start drawing it.
Very good. In the figure above, ABCEFG is a regular hexagon, and D is the midpoint of CE. If the area of the hexagon is 864 times radical 3 square feet, what is the area, in square feet, of triangle ADG?
This is fun.
That is kind of fun, actually.
For a hexagon.
Oh, jeez. Levi, you
What?
gotta watch your mouth. You gotta watch your mouth. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I'm genuinely excited about this. I'll tell you that much. Because I just told you that, so you know I can tell you. Alright, so regular hexagon means that all the sides and angles are the same. It's got 6 sides, they're all equal. All of the angles in a regular hexagon are 120 degrees. Don't believe me? Fine. I'll show you. So I use this formula, n minus 2 times 180. This formula allows us to find, according to the number of sides, n, for a polygon, how many, or just a regular, or sorry, not even regular, but just for some geometric shape, how many degrees you would get if you added up all the angles on the inside. So here we have 6 as our n, so 6 minus 2 is 4. This is 4 times 180, which is going to be 400 plus 32, 320, which gives us 720. this amount of degrees is, this number of degrees, I'm sorry, is split among 6 angles equally, so we divide by 6, and we get 120. Okay, Levi,
Yes.
can I take away just the picture part?
I will take away just the
But leave the question part up.
Okay.
Leave it up. I think it'd be fun. Oh. Yeah, good.
You happy?
Yes. Makes me quite happy. Excellent. Very, very good. Okay, so what we have to figure out here is what are the side lengths of this hexagon? Once we know the side lengths, everything is going to become clear. Because these are all 120 and they're all the same length, one thing you could do with a hexagon is to separate it into 6 equilateral, identical triangles. Every hexagon that is regular can do this. That's the center. And if that's the case, we know what the area of each of those triangles would be because there are 6 of them and the total area of the whole hexagon is 864 root 3 square feet. So if I divide that by 6, I will get one of those triangles' areas. So I will do that now in front of you. 864 root 3. We're going to divide that by 6. I'm going to just simplify here. Both of these are divisible by 2. That's going to be 432 divided by 3. That's also going to be divisible by 3. This is still times root 3. So this is going to be, here we go, 140, 130. No, it's going to be 100 something. Here we go. So we got 133 to get us to 400, and then we have to add 10. So 100. Well, what is 140 going to be? 300 plus 120 is 420. And then 2/3. Ah, jeez. Oh, jeez. All right, so we're right around there. Levi?
Yes?
Can you do a quick calculation for me?
Yeah, baby.
432 divided by 3.
144.
It's exactly?
Yeah.
Why did I not think it was? Okay, cool. 144 times root 3. So now I'm going to think about just one of these triangles. One of these triangles has an area of 144 root 3. So it's the area of just one of the small equilateral triangles. Now, there is a formula for the area of an equilateral triangle. Thank you, Imperium. There is a formula for the area of an equilateral triangle. All the sides are S. We're just going to call it S. And the formula states that the area of an equilateral triangle is S squared root 3 over 4. There's a way to show that with some geometry. You basically do some trig. You find Pythagorean theorem. This side's S over 2. You figure out what this is going to be. Turns into this when you finally multiply everything out. So if that is the area formula for an equilateral triangle, and we know the actual area of this equilateral triangle, if we set these two things equal to each other, S squared root 3 over 4, we can find the side lengths of this. All right, so first thing I see, the root 3's are going to cancel. Thank God. I hate root 3. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. Other radicals are fine. Even other irrational radicals are fine. Root 2, whatever. Root 3, forget about it.
Root 3.
Root, that's right, root 3. I'm glad that they're gone. Okay, so now we're going to multiply by 4. So S squared is going to be equal to, that's going to be, oh man. All right, so that's 4. I just got to do this step by step. 400 plus 160 plus 16. This marker is not good. I will put it on the ground. S squared is equal to 500, and that's going to be 576. Levi.
Yes, sir.
Square root of 576.
Square root of 576 is 24.
24. 24. We are in business. We just signed the lease on a new business property. We filled out an operating agreement. We've got a certificate from the city. We are in business.
Yes.
Because of the 24. Okay, so now that brings us back to this. Every one of these side lengths is 24. They're asking us, oh jeez. They're asking us for the area of this triangle in the middle of this hexagon right here. Well, one thing we know about it already is that the bottom here, the base is 24. We just need to get this height. And this height is going to be the length here of the bottom of this equilateral triangle to the center and then all the way to the top. So basically it's going to be the height of an equilateral triangle times 2. So this height right here, which corresponds with this. times 2. Okay? So, I'm going to go back to this triangle. Now we know what all these side lengths are.
Hey, I don't know the answer to that question, Kuzi. Nit, if you're still watching, since this is your question, do you know where it's from? Was this from an actual test? It looks like a practice test at the very least, based on how the question is, but I don't know if it's a fish.
It does look like an SAT question. I didn't want that. Okay, so I'm going back to this equilateral triangle. All the side lengths are 24. I cut it in half with this altitude. These are both 12. If you do Pythagorean theorem, you're going to get 12 root 3. Also, if you know your 30, 60, 90 triangle pattern, you'll know off the bat, this is going to be 12 root 3. So this height right here is 12 root 3. If we keep going up, we're going to get another 12 root 3, which means our height of our triangle is 24 root 3. That is our height. The base of our triangle, like we said, was 24. So now all we have to do is, area is 1/2 base times height of the triangle, which I will do right here. Area is equal to 1/2 times 24 times 24 root 3. Don't forget that root 3. All right, some quick stuff here. 1/2 times 24 is going to give us 12. 12 times 24 is going to be 12 times 12 times 2. I broke up 24 into 12 by 2. And I know that 12 squared is 144. So this is going to be 288 root 3. 288 root 3. Is that 1/4 of that? 800? No, it is not. Is it 1/3 of that? 688. 8 times 3. No, I don't think so. It's actually a homework question for a 2nd grade class. Yeah, we can go 30, 60, 90 right now. Any questions? I'm going to talk about the 2 special right triangles. Any questions on this? This is a glorious, glorious question.
Turtle, Turtles, are you here? Because I sent you the link and you were looking at the link that I sent, which was not technically the live video. It was a live video 15 minutes ago. But are you watching us right now do this?
If you're not watching, don't respond because you're not watching.
That
so
way I'll know.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get rid of this.
Yeah. They want a quick special
Height of
right
the triangles?
Yeah. Do you want to talk them through that?
Yeah, baby. Okay, so the height of that tall triangle in the hexagon is the way Brady broke up the hexagon, which is now gone, is he broke it up in
hexagon.
Right.
Right. That was obnoxious, wasn't it?
Yes.
It's alright, you're my business partner. You can
That's
tell
true.
me.
That's true.
If anyone can tell me, it's you.
Turtles, what's up? Hello, hello. So you can ask your questions here if they're written out or whatever. Okay, I'm glad you're watching live now. Okay, so let's just recap that last little bit of the last problem really quick. And then we will move on to 30, 60, 90 stuff. Oh, did the big one. You got it. Understood. Very good. So I want to talk about that. So 30, 60, 90s. First of all, they are at the beginning of the SAT sections, both the calculator and no calculator. So you don't have to memorize this. But for the easier one, which is the 45, 45, 90, so those two are the same. They don't have to be labeled as 45 because as long as this is the right angle and these two are the same, they have to be 45. Let's just put them in. So those are both 45 degrees. We have an isosceles right triangle. These have to be the same length of side. If this is x, then this also has to be x. This will be x radical 2. It always will be that thing. So the conversion from going from either of these legs to there, whatever this leg is, you just multiply it by radical 2 to get to there. Like the opposite direction would be if whatever you have here, if it's 7, if it's radical 72, it doesn't matter. Take this, divide by radical 2 to get to either one of these legs. Then the other one is the 30, 60, 90. This is also at the beginning of both of the math sections. So this is 30 degrees. This is 60 degrees. Also, please ask your questions. You can ask them in our Discord. You can ask them right here in the chat. I'm just pointing to this because that's stupid. Ask them wherever. If someone wants to post the link to the the Discord. You can just do !Discord, and then it'll show up if you want to find it through chat on Twitch. Okay, so if this is x, the short leg, which is opposite the smallest angle, this will be x radical 3. This will be 2x. So the hypotenuse is double the short leg.
Your X is kind of cut off there.
This, oh shoot.
Sorry, man.
No, it's okay. It's a good thing you told me.
Really?
Yeah, very good. Same deal here. Whichever one of these you have, you can just go back to the beginning of the math section and see what the ratios are. And to get from here to here, you multiply by 2. Other direction, divide by 2. To get from the hypotenuse to the longer leg, you have to go through the shorter leg. You have to divide by 2 and then multiply by radical 3. Or divide by radical 3, multiply by 2, depending on your direction. Or you can set up a proportion with these things and then whatever the lengths of your triangle are. Very good. Are there any more questions that have been posted? Oh, that's not necessarily where we want to be. Oh, we got a math question here. Yes, you already did that. Cool. Thank you. Oh, Turtle. We actually already did that math that you put in our math channel thing in our Discord. We already did that one earlier before you posted it on the SAT Discord. We did it, and then you showed up. So just go back. You can find it. It'll be in the top right corner of the screen. You'll be able to see it. Do you have any more questions? Also, post your questions while we're streaming. If that's fun. I'm gonna follow that link. Wait, that's a video. Oh, thank you, Tindo. I appreciate that. I assume I know what that is, so I'm not gonna open it. Can we do different parabola equations after this? Kuzi, is this the type of thing that you're like, oh, but I know this already, or do you want this? I'm not mad. Don't worry. Bird,
Yes.
Kuzi's got some questions for you.
I'm going to get up slowly.
Kuzi is asking, why do you look Asian?
Really?
No.
Oh.
But I do think it's very funny that they thought one of us. Hey, I forget who. Either Turtle or Knit. One of you thought that one of us was Asian. Which of us did you think was Asian? I'm guessing it was Brady.
I was going to guess it was you.
Really?
Yeah.
I think because I have a beard, that's like less likely that they thought it was me.
Left one. That's me. Interesting. Is it like the hair thing or like... Well, I mean...
I think it's your Asian heritage.
Brady's Indian.
Yeah.
Debatable.
Super debatable.
Extremely debatable. One side will win 100%. If not, 99.9.
Can we do different parabola equations out of this?
Is there another question so far, or should we do
No.
parabola equations?
There is. Oh wait, no, we have a turtle question. Nice.
I
And
want to
then-
do the total question.
And then Kuz, we will do your thing.
Not Kuzi, I am none of those things. I am neither Indian nor Native American.
Whoa. Did you hear about
Nice.
Selena Bird?
Selena?
Yeah.
No, did you?
Yeah, she created a scale model of an airplane.
Oh, okay. I was trying to think about this.
Oh yes. Okay, so we need a program on the calculator. Do you have that link, or did you send me that link? So because there are a couple people that asked for it actually
Very good.
on the Discord.
Yeah. Yeah, I can send you that. I think the one so the one that I have I know works on TI-84. The TI-84 plus CE, and then I have one for the normal TI-84. And if I'm not mistaken, the one that I have for the normal TI-84 should work on the TI-83, but you guys can let me know. You're calculating degrees mode, right? There are questions about radians. Most of the ones they have that involve angles are degrees, but you should know how to switch between them depending on the question. That's the important thing. Selena created a scale model of an airplane where 1 centimeter on the model equals 6 meters on the airplane. The wingspan of the model is 10.7 centimeters. Selena wants to make a new model where the scale of 1 centimeter on the model equals 3 meters on the airplane. Which of the following best describes how the wingspan of the new model will compare to the wingspan of the first model? Okay, well, the very first scale she used was 1 centimeter is to 6 meters on the airplane. And then we know that the wingspan of the model is 10.7 centimeters. So what I would like to do with that is figure out what is the real wingspan. Let's figure that out first. So 1:6, I'm creating a proportion here. And remember, this is centimeters over meters. That's the top and bottom. Is equal to 10.7 over x, which is the length we're trying to find. Okay, this is the setup. There's a couple different ways to reorganize this proportion, but this is what I went with. So 1 centimeter is to 6 meters, so 10.7 centimeters will be to what? So I cross multiply 1 times x just gives us x. 6 times 10.7 will give us 64.2. 60 plus 4.2, yes. 64.2. Okay, so the actual wingspan on the real thing, the real McCoy, is 64.2 meters. And now she changed the scale, because that's what Selenas do. All Selenas do that. They're scale changers, every last one of them. The new scale is 1 centimeter is to 3 meters on the airplane. I'm just going to figure out what the new scale model would say, and then we can figure out which answer that's going to be. Okay, 1 is to 3 as x is to 64.2. So 3x is equal to 64.2. And so x, if we divide that by 3, is going to be 22.4. Let me think about that for a sec. That'd give us, no, that would be 66. That's too big. 21.4 would give us 63. And then we'd have the 0.4 times 1.2, which would give us that. Yes, good. Okay, so that means that the new model is going to have this as the wingspan. This is twice as big as the old model wingspan. I'm going to use that information to see what matches up with our answers. The wingspan of the new model will be 3 centimeters shorter. Now, any shorter or longer, throw it out. This is a ratio. These are scale factors here. This is double that. So it's not going to be that. 3 centimeters longer, I'm going to throw that out as well. The wingspan of the new model will be 1/2 as long. No, it is twice as long. Therefore, it is going to be D. D is the answer that we all love. Little smiley face. I'm putting a smiley face to show that we like D. Very good. Very good. Okay. Proportions. They're what is for lunch. Don't have them for breakfast. They are not part of your complete balanced breakfast. You know, that's my favorite thing. How is 24 twice as big as 64? No. No. All right. 64.2 is the real wingspan in real life. 10.7 is the model wingspan that she started with. I should have labeled these. I recalculated what her new model wingspan would be with the different scale. This is the new model the new model wingspan. My mistake, I did not label things that well. Does that clear things up? Hey, I was wondering if I could put all math formulas on my calculator. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, and we can help you with that. We've got some great formulas. They're all free, and you're allowed to have formulas on the SAT and ACT, which is fantastic. Yes, please. Fatality 0913. All right, Fatality. Just don't die before I send them to you. It's just Fatality. That's kind of pretty dark. But you're the one that has... Is there a link? All right, Levi, come up here. Let me go send it to
Yes.
everyone. Yeah.
Fatality, you should be asleep right now. Isn't it midnight-ish? It's almost midnight and 1 for you.
I gotta get my computer, Levi.
What's up?
I'm gonna get my computer.
Are you going to die on September 13th? You might. 11:53. Oh, okay. So you're fine. It's also the summer, so whatever. Okay, aside from the calculator stuff, Bird is dealing with that. What else do you guys have questions on? It doesn't only have to be math. We don't only do math. It's just math is easy to practice and then have practice problems for. But do you have any questions on the English section or the reading section or the science if you're doing ACT? It doesn't matter. Just ask stuff. Isn't saying that the new model will be 2 times the wingspan of the real parabola. All right, Kuz. All right. I'm going to die on August 24th. Good, good. Hi, Cabin Boy. What's up? Help me with some reading vocab, please. Okay, so helping with vocab is not going to do that much. Also, Turtles, on this new model question, I have no idea what it's about. I wasn't paying attention, so Brady will have to help you when that happens. What does implication mean? Implication, is that in the question? Maybe I can help you more there. Oh, yeah, if you're implying something. Sure, it is the noun of implying. So if you imply that you're very cool, that the implication is that you are cool, I guess. It's the thing that you imply. Oh, right. Bird Turtles is asking, isn't it saying that the new model will be 2 times the wingspan of the real? Does that make sense to you?
The model is tiny.
Can you just, I wasn't paying attention, so I have no idea what this question's about. So I can't really answer it.
Okay, wait.
It's the longish question that's about this. Or, you see where it is? 5th one down.
Okay, so D. The wingspan of the new model will be 2 times as long as the wingspan of the first model. So that's our answer. The wingspan of the first model was 10.7 centimeters. We realized that that meant that the real plane is 64.2 meters. All right? She's got a tiny one sitting on her desk. That's 10.7 centimeters wingspan, which corresponds to the real plane in real life, which has a 64.2 meter wingspan, which is huge. And then she remade a new model with a slightly different scale. And on that new model, her wingspan was then 21.4 centimeters. So on her new model, the wingspan is twice as large as what it was before. Because there's no way the model could be twice the size of the real. Then you don't have a model, you just have a really, really big plane that's bigger than an original plane. Oh, very good. Got it. Okay, Levi, you're up.
Yeah?
Yep, I gotta give him programs.
Okay. Get out of here, Bird.
I'm sorry, I thought I was down already.
Yeah?
No.
Okay. All right, so about the vocab, I mean, I'm not going to teach you vocab because it's not going to help very much. I can go over how to approach those vocab and context questions, but me teaching you individual vocab words, I'm not going to do that because this is live and it's not that useful to do live. It's just memorizing stuff if that's what you want to do to study. I don't think that's necessarily the best way to study, to be honest. I think reading a lot helps, but
yes,
that's a long-term thing. So if you're taking the test in 3 weeks, reading a lot is probably not going to do much for you. Read the entire dictionary. Yes, do that. That's dumb. Okay. So, Kuzi, let's talk about parabolas. What about parabolas? There's a lot of stuff. So what do you want to know? We can talk about graphing them. There are, there's standard form, there's vertex form. We can talk about those 2 forms and then how to graph them based on those forms. We can talk about completing the square, which is not particularly important. It will help to know on the test, but and how to find the vertex of them. Okay, yeah, let's do vertex stuff. Okay, so let's say we have this function y equals x squared plus 13x plus 40. Okay, so this is our parabola. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but it'll be over here. We know it's going to be over there. So, vertex stuff. With the standard form, what you have to do is, this is not, I'm going to make this clearer. I'm also going to make these numbers smaller, just make it a little bit simpler. Let's say that this is plus 8x plus 15. Okay, so the vertex. Let's do that in pink. So vertex, this is the x value specifically, so I'm going to put a little x here, will be negative b over 2a, where this is, ax squared plus bx plus c. Are you sure? You don't have to find vertex on the SAT. I have seen questions where you do. It's seldom going to be what's the vertex of this thing, but they might say what's the y value of the vertex, or what is the line over which the vertex is symmetrical, or something like that. Or they might ask, there are a myriad of questions that you could need to know how to find the vertex. Yeah, like what's the minimum? That's one way to do it. If it opens up, the vertex will be the minimum, so that's how you can find the minimum. Okay, so this is the x value of the vertex from here. So in this particular parabola, the vertex, so we're going to do the x value of the vertex, so x sub v, will be -8 over 2 times 1, since there's no leading coefficient, so it's just 1. So that will be -4. Now that's just the x value. So we need to find the y value. I am faster with the calculator. Yeah, so that helps if you have a calculator. So -4, 1, I guess if you plugged it in, you get 16, then you get that. I'm going to believe you, 31, 30, yeah, sure. Okay, so then the y value of the vertex is -1 if you plug the x value of -4 back in. So the vertex is going to be -4, 1. -1. Yeah? So we have that. Let's graph that real quick. So, there we go. Now, let's say we're asked about the x-intercepts. Well, x-intercepts are, this is super important. I don't know why this is not stressed more. When you're looking for x-intercept, these things are super related. Factors, roots, x-intercepts, zeros, and solutions. They're all the same thing, okay? If you're asked for an x-intercept, you plug in 0 for y, because regardless of where you cross the x-intercept, your y value is not positive or negative, it is 0. There's a quick way to figure out this sum and product of zeros. Okay, you want to share that? You can do it there in the chat. So let's find the zeros of this. That means we plug in 0 for y. So we're basically just going to end up factoring, which is why you've practiced factoring so much, but then sometimes people forget, oh yeah, this is what we're supposed to do. So here we're going to factor this. We're going to get x plus 5 times x plus 3. Now that equals 0, so you use the zero product property. Sorry, yeah, zero product property. So you get x equals -5 and x equals -3 when y is 0. So you have those 2 points, -5 and -3. So you get a point there and you get a point there. So our parabola will look like that. Whoa. Okay, yeah, follow that link if you want. Okay, so that's one way to do this. The other way is you could, this is a foolish way, but you could complete the square and then graph it from vertex form. Dark web, good. www.google.com. Dark web is true. Okay, so it's not a good idea to complete the square here and then have vertex form to graph, but you could feasibly do that. Who wants to, raise your hand if you want to do vertex, or
raise your hand.
We're going to do vertex form. I don't necessarily feel like it's super important to do completing the square right now if there's a lot of stuff you guys want to talk about aside from that, because that's not a super pressing thing to learn for the SAT. Link didn't work for me. Oh, shoot. Probably because you're in a cabin, Cam. But it could be other things. So, vertex form. Let's do... do I want to put this into...
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Tell him I put a Discord. I made a new Discord channel called Calculator Programs.
Brady just made a new Discord channel called Calculator Programs.
I mean, it's one of our channels under Nerdish.
Yeah. So in our Nerdish Discord, we have a channel now that's called Calculator Programs. It's only for the 84s. What happened to Frank? Who's Frank?
Levi,
I'm Levi. That's Brady. What's up, Brady?
I think it'll work for the 83.
Oh, and 83, but it's not going to work for the Inspires. Who is Frank? That's a great question. Who is Frank?
Who's Frank?
I don't know. They're asking about Frank. That's all. Okay. Or Joshua. What's going on? Kuzi. You have an Inspire CX. I mean, there's that notes portion where you could do... where are all these names coming from? Yeah, we don't have a calculator program for you if you have an Inspire, unfortunately. But the CX is very cool. Oh, Bert, I was looking up emulators online, and TI kind of shuts that stuff down.
Oh, I got one today.
Did you buy it?
No, I have a 90-day free registration or something.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the Discord link. Oh, I know, Kuz, you asked for that yourself. Very nice. Okay, so I'm going to complete the square real quick, not because completing the square is super important, but just because I want to show you that from vertex form we can get exactly the same thing.
Levi,
Yes, Bert.
if you complete the square,
Yeah?
that will open the portal and confirm the prophecy.
Will it?
You mustn't complete the square. Leave it uncompleted.
I'm going to complete the square, Bert.
But what about the prophecy?
But what of the princess?
She's mine.
Oh, yes. Yeah, there we go. This is the vertex form of that equation. You don't have to necessarily know how I got there, but yes, I'm not listening to Brady. Things about to... Oh, gosh.
If they ask if you're listening to me.
They said that I shouldn't listen to you.
Oh.
Or maybe they're talking to each other. Either way, this is a vertex form of the same thing. You could check all your answers if you want, but the vertex is taken from here. This format is y equals a times x minus h squared minus k plus k. Plus k. That's not circles. You're a circle. So, from here, h and k, we have -4 and -1. That's that -4 and -1, so we have the same vertex. And then it's not helping us really outside of that. We know it opens up because it has a positive leading coefficient. But this is what vertex form does. Vertex form gives us the vertex. It also tells us if it opens up or down. Hey, Bird, the link is blocked. I don't know what that means.
Oh, okay, I gotta just...
Oh, no, sorry, I lied. What I wrote is blocked. Dang it, I'm sorry, guys. Y equals... And I did it again. I don't really learn from my own mistakes. X minus h squared plus k. So we have a +4 here, but a minus h here. So this is, yes, I know. How familiar are you guys with the vertex form? Do you guys want me to show you how it works with messing with parabola translations and things? Very. Yes, I think you're talking about silliness, in which case, sure. Okay. Let's do more stuff. What else do you guys want to do? Circle equation is also x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Yes, it is. H is -x and k is y. Yes, it is. H is -x, k is... Yeah, for if x and y are the values of the vertex. Or you can write it as the vertex is h comma k. From there. A is slope. A is not slope. A parabola does not have a single slope because it's not a linear function. So it has a changing slope, which you will get to dealing with when you get to calculus, if you get there and want to. A is just telling you whether or not it's like the parent function. So if A is... So our parent function, which means, y equals x squared. So we just have this parabola y equals x squared. If we want to make... You can sort of think about it like slope. The slope at any given point is... The magnitude of that slope is greater if you have something like y equals 5x squared. So what happens here is it doesn't move, but the slope gets narrower. Okay? So that's what happens out here. That's what the A does. So A goes narrower or wider. Narrow/wide. That's what happens here. So let's do another one. If we have, I'm going to erase this blue one because it's actually, let's erase it. Fine. Okay, so that's that. Okay, now let's say that we have y equals 1/3 x squared. So if you're going to plug in some values to see what's going on here, you'll find that it gets wider. That's what happens. So if your leading coefficient, it doesn't matter positive versus negative. If the magnitude, so ignoring positive and negative, if it's a bigger number, if it's greater than 1, your parabola will start getting narrower and narrower. Okay, and I'm happy to explain why if you ask why. As this gets closer and closer to 0, so between 0 and 1, for this leading coefficient, your parabola gets wider. But it's not moving. The vertex, it's not moving around the graph or anything like that. The vertex is still at 0, 0 for these particular functions. Now, so are those the only equations we need for parabolas? Are you talking about the standard form versus vertex form? Because yes, that's really all you need to understand.
Yeah, solving for the vertex, minus b over 2a.
Do
you give them how to find the vertex?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
In standard form, how do we know when the parabola is facing down? Yes, what you need is that leading coefficient. If that x squared is positive, then it opens up. If it's negative, it opens down. Doesn't matter what the number is, as long as it's negative or positive, you know. So from either the standard form or vertex form, you can tell if it opens up or down. You can also find the vertex. This is super obvious. This one you have to do negative b over 2a for the x value, plug in for the y value. This one you can factor to find the zeros, which are the x-intercepts, which are the factors, that type of thing. Here you can also solve, right? You could do the zeros for this one as well. Because it's the same thing. The x-intercept will be a y value of 0. So you plug in 0 for y, you get x plus 4 squared minus 1. You add 1, so now you have 1 equals x plus 4 squared. Then you get 1 equals x plus 4, and you also get negative 1 equals x plus 4. You solve each of those, you will get negative 5 and negative 3, which is what we got for this up here, because they are the same parabola, just in different forms.
Ooh, there's an English question that you love.
I did that all behind the stupid white fudging. Yep.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. Because we don't have the. Why did we get rid of that square there? When did we do that?
Oh, when we filmed our little intro.
That's what it was. That was dumb. Okay, I'm sorry, guys.
You can do it again?
I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it off. No, we'll just leave it up. Don't worry about this. That's actually not particularly important. Okay, so let's do the last two little things from vertex form. So if you, on the outside here, add something or subtract something. In this case, we subtracted something. And what we got when we graphed this thing, we got the thing down here, right? It was negative 4, negative 1. We got that parabola. That's moved down 1. I don't know why, but I thought that 15 was the minimum in standard form. 15 is not the minimum. I will tell you what that is in a moment. I'm going to underline that so I know. Okay, here we're starting from x squared, right? That's our starting place because that's the parent function. If you subtract 1, you're just going to move down 1. If you add 1, you're going to move up 1. Your vertex will just move up 1, and then the graph will be made from there, or it might be opening down depending on that leading coefficient. So if it's plus 7, you move up 7, minus 4, move down 4. Inside the parentheses, it's going to be the opposite of what you think. If it's plus 4, you move left 4. That's why we ended up with a vertex of negative 4, 1. We moved left 4, we moved down 1, we get negative 4, negative 1. That's where this HK comes from. When I tried to download the program, it tells me to choose an application to open it. What should I do? Bert.
Did they get TI Connect?
You need to get TI Connect.
Which I put on the bottom of that channel.
Which Bird put on the bottom of that channel. I have no idea what he's talking about. But you hopefully do. Okay, this 15 is not the minimum. What it means is if you plug in zeros for x's, you just have the 15 left, right? So just like when we were finding the x-intercept and we plugged in 0 for y, if you plug in 0 for x, you're finding the y-intercept, right? That's why when we have this form, y equals mx plus b, you always know that b is going to be your y-intercept, right? But the reason for that is because at your y-intercept, let's say here, you know your x value is not positive or negative, it's 0. So you plug in 0 for x, this just goes away, it doesn't matter. So you get y equals b when x is 0. That's why that's your y-intercept. It actually ends up being the same thing here. Not the same thing here, but yes here, because you're just solving for y when x is 0, so you get y equals 0 plus 15. So when x is 0, y is 15. So this parabola, since we've drawn it sort of from here and made some sort of Frankenstein parabola from these two, which are the same thing, this will go up and pass through that point right there. It will also go up on that side. Ta-da! So with parabolas and graphing, there are a bunch of things you can take. Don't hurt your head, cabin boy. Don't do that. You can watch this again. Watch it slower. Can you go slower?
Yes.
You can go slower. You can always go slower. There are a bunch of things you can take from these equations. From this one, you get the leading coefficient, which tells you opens up or opens down. You get to find the vertex by doing negative b over 2a. Memorize this. This is the most important thing on the screen to memorize. That, and then probably this vertex form.
Levi,
Yes, Bert?
tell him to go on Desmos and just play around.
You can also go on Desmos and play around. Desmos is like a graphing application, and you can put in x squared so you can compare things and then just add 2 to it and see how the graph shifts, things like that. It has been a long day. Desmos is really cool. Yeah, super, super clean and pretty. Okay, negative b over 2a. Got it. Yes, you do got it. Now, so it's that. It's the leading coefficient opens up versus down. It's also remembering if you're finding the y, you can always look for y and x intercepts. Y intercepts are easy. You plug in 0 for x. Everything goes away except for your constant terms. In this case, the y-intercept is 15. In this case, the y-intercept is your b value in any linear function. Even if it's not in this form, you can still plug in 0 for either variable and find the intercept of the other one. That's why factoring is so important. You plug in 0 for y to find the x-intercept. Okay? So plugging in 0 helps a lot, so you can find any intercepts you want at any time. And then from the vertex form, you can immediately find the vertex. It also tells you, the leading coefficient will tell you up or down. It will tell you how, it will tell you if it's wider or narrower than the parent function. And that's about it. Yeah. So that's a lot of stuff. Do you guys have any other questions? I haven't checked the Discord in a while. Are there questions on there? Oh boy. Calculator programs. Oh yeah, Turtle's got some questions. Oh, and they're English questions. Turtle, what do you want? You want number 20, it looks like? Okay, we got some English questions going on here. It's a bit big. Where's the beginning of the sentence? Okay. Oh boy, you asked a very hard question, Turtle. I've seen this one. You love New York City. Yes, we are in New York City. Are you? Wait, do we have any more questions? It's up to you. I need English questions. Yes, Turtle. Okay, so let's talk about this question here. Generally, I like to look at the answer choices first, not to choose them, but just to see what type of question I'm dealing with, so I can, aim my gut feeling at particular things. Okay, so in the answer choices, we have then did students who were, then hours worked by students, and then compared with. So this is a comparison question. These are with comparators. So we're saying this is bigger than that, this is taller than he is, this is, that type of thing. So we're comparing things. These can be very, very challenging, and they often are. Sometimes they're super easy. This one is super challenging. Okay, so let's read this sentence, figure out what our independent clause is so we just know what's going on. I know where you are, Levi. Very good. That's not very good. Where is it? Yeah. I also know where I am, and I knew first. So, Okay.
Got him there.
Yeah, I got him so good. All right. She found that students who were required to volunteer rushed to complete their service hours in early high school. They then Okay, so the answer to that is semicolon. Okay, so let's ignore everything up until school because it's a semicolon, whatever. Oh yeah, that's right. Where is that? Okay, so ignoring the semicolon with school right after number 19 because that's taken care of, we have they then did significantly. All right, they then did significantly less regular volunteer work in 12th grade than the service hours of those required to volunteer. Whoa, that's not something I like. Okay.
Why don't you like it, my lord?
This is a comparisons question. We have to think about the parts of speech in this and make sure, because the way the grammar is set up really determines the meaning of the comparison. I just said a random, yeah, no, I figured that. Yeah. I grew up in New Jersey, but I am not in New Jersey now. Brady and I are in New York.
Dude, they probably just read our website bios.
Probably. Yeah, because we put our home addresses on the website, remember?
Yep.
Okay. So, we have to think about what we're comparing. The grammar of the sentence determines the meaning. You don't get to decide the meaning. So, what you should do is think about what meaning do I want? And in this case, I think we're saying that, okay, some group of people did less volunteer work in 12th grade than, the people required to volunteer worked less than the people who were not required to volunteer. That's what we're saying here. We're comparing the two groups, how much these two groups of people worked. We need to make sure that's clear. In answer choice A, I don't think we're doing that correctly. It's test 10. This one is what you're talking about, right? You're not saying it's question 10, right? Number 20 is what you want me to talk about in the giant College Board book. Oh, from 20, the most recent edition? Is that the second one in the book now? It doesn't matter too much. Okay, so answer choice A. We have, they then did significantly less regular volunteer work in 12th grade than the service hours of those not required to volunteer. So right now we're comparing volunteer work to the service hours of those required not to volunteer. That's a backwards comparison. Those two things aren't on the same plane. Let's try B. They then did significantly less volunteer work in 12th grade than did students who were not required to volunteer. Okay, yes, exactly, Tindo. You can't compare different things. Right. So we have they did less. Well, I'm simplifying this a lot. They did less work than. That's what we're comparing. They did less work than this other thing. We need to compare what they did to what the other group did. B does that correctly. It says, then did students who were not required to volunteer. B is a weird turn of phrase, which makes this problem super hard. We're going to leave that for now. It is the right answer, though. C. They did less work than hours worked by students not required to volunteer. Again, it's not the correct comparison. We want to compare they did less work to another group doing a certain amount of work, not they did less work than other work. Then we have compared with students. So this is where D is doubling up on a comparison. It says they did less work they did less work in the 12th grade compared with students. Okay, this is what people say a lot, but it's wrong when people say it. You cannot say, I am taller compared to him. You say, I am tall compared to him, or I am taller than him. Honestly, it should be, I am taller than he, but that's fine. Although that is exactly what we're talking about here. So does this make sense? This thing, when you get a comparison question, you have to make sure the grammar holds up to what you know you're supposed to be comparing. In this case, it's they did less work than the other group did. Is the program good? Okay, we got a Great. I believe that's going to work out for all of you. Okay, so I think I've done this relatively recently, but I don't think any of you guys have seen it. So how would you rewrite the sentence to make the answer D? I would say they didn't do a lot of work compared. First of all, it should be compared to, not compared with. I think that's better. But let's say compared with is okay. They did very little work compared with students who did not have to volunteer. Would you say this is a pattern? What specifically are you referencing here? There does need to be a pattern with the two things you compare to each other. Yes. I like brownies. Should not be capitalized. As in choosing than versus compared. Okay. So you can say compared, and you can say than, but than is your comparison. You would not say both of them together. That's all. And since you, in this case, so you don't say less compared. You say less than, taller than, bigger than, faster than, smarter than, heavier than. You say, words, right? So you have an adjective and it's a comparison. If you're just saying an adjective, then you would say compared to. So I am short compared to Brady, but I would not say I am shorter compared to Brady. I would say I am short compared to Brady, or I am shorter than Brady. Yay. Compared with student, not required to volunteer, doesn't make any sense at all. You could feasibly say, in this case it doesn't make any sense, Tindo, but you could say they didn't do much work at all compared with students not required to volunteer. That's fine. They didn't do a lot compared to this thing. That's okay. So I like brownies more than... Yeah, YouTube or Twitch, it doesn't matter. We can see the comments from anywhere. YouTube, I find a little bit... probably our YouTube, unless you're talking about somebody else in chat. Okay, so her or, dang it, her or she. One of these mean different, yeah, we actually are catching up to Jake Paul's subscriber base, actually. Yeah. I like brownies more than her. I like brownies more than she. Both of these are grammatically correct. They mean totally different things. I like brownies more than she. Does is implied here. I like brownies more than she does. Isn't whom for her, him, and who is for he and she? Yes, so that's objects at the beginning. Whom, her, and him are objects. He, she, and who are subjects. Yeah, those they go together well. I like brownies more than she means that I like brownies this much, she likes brownies this much, so I like brownies more than she does. The first one, her, means I like brownies this much, but now, because of the part of speech here, this is an object, as we just said, so we have to compare, because here's our then, so this is our comparison right here. So on either side, we have to have matching grammar, and that part of speech will determine what the comparison actually is. So since it's an object here, we have to take the object here. So I like brownies this much, and I only like her this much. So I like brownies more than I like her. I like brownies more than her. These have completely different meanings. How to use who and whom. Yeah, we can do that. Did someone else ask a question like 15 minutes ago about something? Do we have any more Discord questions? I should probably do another Discord. No, okay. So we have... Alright, we can just get rid of this thing. Alright, who and whom. We have this last question. Okay, Bird, you want to do this math question here?
Yes.
Can you pull it up while I erase and also explain who and whom?
Sure.
Cool. Okay, so subjects versus objects.
I got up too fast.
Subjects do the verb. Again?
Yeah.
What just blew your mind?
You're going to explain who and whom while I pull up the math question?
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah, and if you could erase this too. Okay, so this is who This is he, she, I, we, they, whom, him, shim. Nope. Stupid.
Hey.
Just tried to roll with the S, but it doesn't work.
By the way, if you're stressed, use Alt to Ipsum.
Yeah. Oh, we should talk about that. So we're about to finish.
Sounds like a drug. Stressed? Take Alt to Ipsum.
Yeah. Okay. Subjects and objects. Subjects do verbs. So blank goes to the store. Who goes to the store? He goes to the store. She goes to the store. I go to the store. We go to the store. They go to the store. Whom does not go to the store. Him goes to the store. All of these are bad, right? These generally are pretty clear. They sound pretty good to your ear if they're correct. You would not say him goes to the store. So you would not say whom goes to the store. If you're choosing between who and whom, sometimes it's good to think about this line, he versus him. If you could use he there, then it should be who. If you can use him there, it should be whom. Also, people screw this up a lot. They talked to Brady and blank. If we're talking about this line here, I or me, what should it be here? They talked to Brady and I, or they talked to Brady and me? The two meanings of using her and she. Damn, I did not know that. There you go. Yes, Kuzi, it should be me, because me is an object. You would not say they talked to Brady and I. Another way to see this pretty clearly is get rid of Brady, get rid of and.
Hey!
Then, it's okay.
Oh.
They talked to I. Absolutely not.
That sounds literally ridiculous.
Yeah, it does. It does. They talked to me. That's it. Same thing if it's at the beginning of the sentence.
Yeah, but
if
why would they talk to you?
Tutoring? So my dad, my mom, and I go to the store, or my dad and my mom and me go to the store. It should be I, because if you get rid of my dad and my mom, like Batman, you just have I go to the store. You wouldn't say me go to the store, or me goes to the store. It doesn't work.
Not Kuzi. They're not literal objects like things you can hold in your hand. Grammatical objects receive actions.
Yes, it's not literal things you can hold in your hand. Grammatical objects receive objects or verbs.
Yes.
So they talked. Here's your subject. Here's your verb, and then we have a preposition. Ignore it. Object, whatever, object.
Yes, Brady did not talk. I don't know if you guys have time for this, but you can ever plural singular such as his are.
We can do that Tuesday.
Yeah, we can do that Tuesday.
Yeah, Bert's going to do this, and then we're going to head out.
Okay, so this one here. I'm going to make this bigger. I'm going to make it bigger.
Did you check where you have your calculator cable? It might be there.
Jeez. The score in a trivia game is obtained by subtracting the number of incorrect answers from twice the number of correct answers. If a player answered 40 questions and obtained a score of 50, how many questions did the player answer correctly? So these are the kind of questions where you read them and you're just like, huh? What you have to do is turn the sentences they gave you into a math equation, okay? Score on a trivia game, we're going to call that S. When they say is obtained by, so the way that you get S, that means it's equal to. You find S by, it's something, we set that equal to S. Subtracting the number, you say actually as though people expect us not to.
Dude, all tutors are hilarious people.
That's true, they're all incredibly funny.
Yep.
By subtracting the number of incorrect answers from twice the number of correct answers. So, I'm going to have C represent the number of correct answers. Twice the number of correct answers would be 2C. And we're going to obtain the score by subtracting the number of incorrect answers from twice the number of correct answers.
That's very, very wrong, Tindo.
All tutors are rich. Yeah, no. You're looking at two that are not currently rich.
We're not rich.
We'd love to be rich.
We're trying to charge you a huge amount of money, and Twitch just isn't doing that.
Yeah, we keep calling the people at Twitch going like, hey, where's our money? And they're like, hey, in a couple months you'll have enough to deposit in your bank because you'll reach, what is it, $100? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, if a player answered...
We haven't actually gotten paid by Twitch.
No, we have.
We got like a couple.
It was a while back, but they have to get up to a certain point to actually pay. Otherwise,
That
it's
makes
like,
sense.
not worth their while. A player answered 40 questions and obtained a score of 50. How many questions did the player answer correctly?
Wait, so S is what again?
I put
just define them for you.
Okay, S is the score, and C is the number of correct. and I is the number of incorrect. So we know that the score is 50, so I'm going to put that in for S. 50 is equal to, here's the hard part. We don't know how many are correct and incorrect. What we know is that there were a total of 40 questions. So Levi, can you come up with a small equation that would represent that correct plus incorrect is equal to 40?
40 equals C plus I.
Go and write it down.
Oh, over here?
Yeah.
In what color?
Whatever you want. I just want to get you in the game, man. I feel like you haven't really been involved in
Yeah.
the stream today.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, C plus I is 40. Oh, that's kind of fun. Oh, we should do that more often.
Yeah, this way people learn more.
Good. Okay. So C and I have this connection. They have to add up to 40, so we can use substitution here. So if I'm going to solve this thing for, I want to eventually get C, okay? You're going to be able to solve for both. As soon as you know one, you know the other, because if one's 30, the other one's 10. They have to add up to 40. So I'm just going to solve this thing for C. All right, we'll see what happens. We'll see. Anyway, C is equal to 40 minus I. I'm going to put that in for C over here. This is a classic textbook substitution. This is textbook. It doesn't get better than that. Oh, this should be uppercase I. Well, sorry about that. Minus another uppercase I. So I performed a substitution. And now I can solve this for I. 50 is equal to, that's going to be 80 minus 2I minus I. Okay, I'm good on space. 50 is equal to 80 minus 3I. So I'm going to subtract 80 and get negative 30 is equal to negative 3I. Therefore, divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. Our incorrect answers are equal to 10. Because they had to add up to 40. Ugh. They have to add up to 40. The number of correct answers is 30. Levi, they said, what do you guys do after the stream? Tindo's like, they hang out with girls, duh. Oh, man. Yo, you're making us seem like we're cool.
All tutors hang out with girls. All of them. Right?
There's a lot of implications behind what you are saying.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Why don't you tell them about them?
Well, I'm not going to.
Okay.
Right.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, Brady and Levi are cool. Thank you, right? We've been trying to tell all of our friends that.
Yeah.
And all of our friends, like one of
Brady,
my friends
I'm cool.
is Levi. One of Levi's friends is me. I'm
I'm
cool.
cool.
I'm cool.
I'm cool.
I'm cool.
I drooled.
So you're not cool. I win the cool contest.
Well, if you think drooling isn't cool.
That's true. It's a big stipulation.
Levi's cool. Brady drools.
That's the opposite of what just happened.
Okay, are we done? Are you done?
Alta Ipsum, it's a program. Check it out. It's free for a month. I prefer Coral. You both have really inspired me, and I have spent thousands of dollars trying to find proper tutors, and here you guys are.
We're right here.
We've always been here.
Look,
That's not true.
Look, spend thousands of nerdish bucks.
Yeah.
On us.
Yes.
Here's the thing. We
Are nerdish. Bum ba dum bum bum bum. Today, what were you gonna say?
For you.
You're gonna say something.
Taking too many nerdishes per day increases thoughts of depression.
My friend and I were serving random Twitch channels, but this is by far the best. Thank you, Not Koozie.
Yeah.
You should tell. Who's your friend? Is your friend also watching?
No, I think by far the best is
Isn't that
friend.
No, isn't by far the best?
By far the best.
Isn't that from was it an ancient Islamic empire?
Yes. No, by far.
Yeah. Oh, Cabin Boy Cam is the friend. Oh, Cam is Not Koozie's friend. This all makes
Yes.
complete sense. Dude, you wrote it. I need to take off the question.
Oh.
The best. By far the best.
So Cam, is your real name by far? Pokemon is live.
Oh,
Let's
shoot.
go!
We gotta go. The Pokemon.
She's gonna play. I know who that is. Like an actual.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh.
She tutors SAT and ACT prep, but we're much better at it than she is.
Goodbye. Tune in on Tuesday for more.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll be back on
hijinks.
Tuesday. Come with your. I'm also Pokemon's dad. Okay. Bring your questions next time. Bird and I feed on questions.
And
It's our
tell
nutrients.
your friends. We also feed on friends.
By far being
The most nutritious
the
friend.
most nutritious of friends.
Of course, because by far is the best.
Great stream for you. See you Tuesday. Ask us questions in our Discord whenever we can answer them.
You guys rock. We're fans of all of you. Very good.
Yes.
Tuesday it is.